All right, so we'll just move right into that stuff just so we can get that out of the way. So with us getting together, and we're going to be working and kind of doing like a little team retreat, and just doing some team building exercises. One of them that a lot of us were kind of looking at doing is vision boards. And in doing that, it's also goal setting. And I listened to Lindsay Stay's wake up call that she did on Monday, and it really kind of blew me away. I don't know if the rest of you guys listened to it or not, but she talked a lot about setting big, scary goals for yourself, because most people, when they're setting goals from themselves, they'll generally set safe, comfortable goals that they know that they will achieve. They're realistic, you know you'll achieve them, so that's what you set. And those are good because it's always good to have success with your goals. However, when you're setting goals for yourself to push yourself, you want to set them a little bit big and a little bit scary because you want to be pushing for them. And when you set big, scary goals like that, it's hard to lose focus on them because they're so big and they're so scary, you can't see yourself there. And that's where the vision boards and the focusing and the vision, focusing on your vision comes into effect, because the vision board kind of keeps it front and focused and right in your viewpoint, so that way you see it every day and then you start believing that you'll be there. I found another YouTube video when I was kind of looking for some materials and some stuff to go to talk about vision and goal setting and stuff. And I found about a half an hour YouTube video where Lindsay is talking to her team. And I've really kind of related a lot lately to Lindsay and the way she talks about things and stuff, and not Lindsay Matway, Lindsay Stay. And in her team, we're in this YouTube video where she was talking to her team about goal setting and stuff. She actually had her vision boards that she had for like 2013 and 2014 when she first started coaching. And when she first started coaching, she had her vision boards, like she actually physically pulled them up and showed her team them and said, look, I had this on this and this and this and this, and this year, this, and this happened. And when she held up her 2014 one, she had Paris, she had the Eiffel Tower sitting right in the very middle, and she had a bunch of planning for baby number 2 and her dream home and all that stuff. She had set them the end of 2014 for her 2015 year. She ended up with dream home. She ended up with her Superstore 15 status. She ended up planning for baby number 2 because she ended up pregnant with baby number 2 at the end of 2015. And she ended up in Paris by fluke. She didn't end up getting there, and so she was bugging, there's a mosquito in my damn office. She was bugging Tony about actually taking her to Paris because she just wasn't going to get there. And then she ended up being invited at the last minute to go to Paris for the top 10 trip with one of her best friends because the best friend's husband couldn't make it. And so she ended up on the top 10 trip by fluke as someone's guest because she had Paris on her vision board, she said, and it wasn't even a thing. We were going to have to pay for our own trip to get there, but we were going to use Beachbody money to get there, so it was still kind of a thing I was focusing on to be able to afford to get there. She said, and then I ended up on the top 10 trip by fluke. So she said, what you focus on in your vision comes true. So that's why I thought that vision boards would be kind of a cool thing, because I mean, we're finishing off 2016, but we're also going into 2017. So what I want you guys to do between now and the weekend when we're getting together, which is just about 2 weeks from now, is to sit down and start thinking about your goals. And I want you to start thinking about the goals now, the goals that we're going to strive for to get to the end of 2016. But I want you guys to start reaching forward and start thinking about where you guys see yourselves next year this time. And another thing that I picked up from all of the stuff that I've listened to and looked at for the last week too is most coaches and most successful coaches in our business focus on 2 seasons in Beachbody. They focus on the first part of the year to summit, and then they focus on the second part of the year to the end of the year when they're setting their goals. So they set goals to get to summit, and then they set goals to get to the end of the year. So that's another cool part and a cool tip or trick to do too. So that way you're not setting these big scary goals that you know that you get to the end of the year and you're like, oh, I failed. So then you rethink those goals, you turn them around, and you look back to see what you did throughout the year that you think you could improve upon, and what you think you could have got done to get to that goal differently. So if that's still a goal and that's still something, when you get to that end of the year, you get to summit and you haven't reached it, if it's still something that is in your heart and you want to strive for, and it still feels like what you want after you've gone through the first 6 months, then you take that goal and you put it as your end of the year goal, and you look at your first 6 months, and like I said, you look and you see what you've done the first 6 months and what you've maybe fallen down on that could have gotten you to that goal. So then you can rethink it, reevaluate, and refocus to get it for the end of the year. So I kind of went and I found a few little tips and tricks that that help to kind of deal with the goal setting. So for goal setting, you kind of have to break down the setting of your goals. Goal setting is a standard technique that top level athletes and successful business people and achievers in all fields do. It gives you a long-term vision and a short-term motivation for your business. It helps you to focus on the knowledge that you're needing to achieve the goal, but also to organize the resources you're going to need to get there. So there's different levels of goals. There's different areas of goals in your life. So there's goals that you can set on your attitude and on your outlook. There's physical goals, so your weight loss goals and where you see yourself in 6 months from working on your programs, and your health goals. Like for me, my goals when I first started getting healthy was to get off all the damn medications that I was on, because I was on 7 medications. Pushing for that. Just setting little goals that kind of push you to go farther. Education goals. Maybe you guys want to earn the money to be able to take yourself and put yourself through a college course or two to better yourself. Goals for your family. What do you see your family? What do you see for your family in the next 6 months? Maybe there's a special trip that you want, or maybe there's a special memory that you want to do with your family to create. Career goals and financial goals. And financial goals are not, like most people think that it's kind of being greedy or kind of wrong to focus on the financial goals. But honestly, the financial goals, especially when you're backed into a corner and you're back when you're pushed to your brink, those financial goals are the goals that will sometimes see you through when nothing else will. So it's not a bad thing to focus on your financial goals too, because you can't help others. Money makes it easier to help others. Money is part of the reason why we're here too. And it will just help to create more of what we're striving for as a team and as a company, to help others and to help improve others' lives. Interest and activity goals. So maybe there's a 5K that you want to run. Like me, I've kind of set a little goal for myself in looking at how to set goals and stuff to try to train and bring it back to you guys. I've set a goal for myself. I want to run Color Me Rad next year, and I've already kind of started on my rest days of Chalene Extreme on Tuesdays and on Sundays. I'm going walking and starting some interval running. Bonnie kind of gave me a really good idea when I posted about wanting to run, and that I looked up to her with her running her 10K and stuff. And she said, start small, start interval running. Tuesday I went out. Rob left for work about 5:30, and I didn't have a workout that day because I was on a rest day. I went out for an hour. Gizmo barked the whole time I was walking away from him because he was mad I wasn't taking him with me. But I went, and I went around by Scorpion and all the way back around by CNL. And I interval run. I was a sweaty mess by the time I got back, but it felt so good. My foot frickin' hurt afterwards, but it felt great. And all I did was, I'm running to that pole. As soon as I get to that pole, I'll be okay. And then I ran, and then I walked, and then I ran, and then I walked. And I made it through the whole 3 kilometers running and walking. And it felt awesome because it felt like I was pushing myself to my goal. And so that's my goal this year. And that's what I want to do next summer is I want to run the Color Me Rad 5K. And my brother's girlfriend, Des, actually wants to too. So we're kind of working with each other and pushing.
So can one thing that had on to told me last Saturday, and I'm going by him now. I've had with these guys in the past. I've had 2 of them, kind of floating back and forth. They haven't got back to me. They're laying back in their truck sleeping. And these are big guys, not small guys. And he told me, he says, they're not going to come in and commit to you. They're gone.
That's right.
Go to the next one. Go to the next person.
Okay, but we're talking goal setting right now.
Well, that's a goal set too. If you're trying to help somebody, that's a goal set. Trying to help them,
right.
Get them up, get them going.
Okay.
These 2 aren't doing it, and I just can't.
So the one thing that I did find too when I was looking on how to set goals and kind of to give us some guidelines for setting goals, the one thing I found that was really cool is to set SMART, pure, and clear goals. So SMART goals, we all know what those are because I post on them on the preseason day 6 when they have to set their goals. We set SMART goals that are specific, measurable, attractive, or as of now, realistic and timed. So the SMART. But have you ever heard of pure goals? Pure goals are P for positively stated, U for understood, R for relevant, and E for ethical goals, or a clear goal. Clear goals are C for challenging, L for legal, E for environmentally sound, A for appropriate, and R for recorded. So for any kind of goal that you want to set for yourself, there's 3 separate ways that you can set goals. When you are setting goals, you can set a goal for, I want to get healthy and I want to lose weight. How specific is that goal? That isn't a specific goal. I want to lose 30 pounds and I want to lose it by this date. Or I want, making it specific and making it measurable, I'm going to lose 30 pounds and I'm going to get into that size 14 jean that I've been trying to get into. It's specific because you got pounds that you're losing, and you've been specific about the amount of weight you want to lose, and it's measurable because you're measuring you losing that many pounds, one, by the scale, but two, by getting into the jeans that you were wanting to get into. So there's 3 separate ways there that you can set goals. And so you want to, these are the steps that you can go to set a kick-ass goal. To set a kick-ass goal and to set a goal that's going to stick and going to push you, you want to develop that SMART, pure, or clear goal, or whatever system sings or talks to you. You want to determine any barriers that you're going to find to achieving that goal. And then you want to look at all the options that you have for helping yourself achieve that goal. And then you need to devise an action plan. And you have to put dates into the diary. So dates of actions that you're going to do to get yourself to where you want to be. So if it's a 6-month goal or if it's a 1-year goal, what are you going to do each month, and how are you going to measure that action each month to get yourself there? You need to review your progress continually. So you constantly have to be looking at what you're doing, reviewing it, and seeing how close you're getting to the goal that you want. And then once you get there, you need to celebrate the heck out of achieving that goal. When I lost my 100 pounds, that was celebrated for a bloody month. And it started with them celebrating me at Super Saturday when I spoke. And from Super Saturday when I spoke, I come home and I celebrated with my family that night, with Lynn and my mom and everybody around at Lynn's house that night. And after we celebrated it there, I come home and the girls at work celebrated with 100 roses and 100 balloons and princess wrapping paper around my cubicle. And it was celebrated for a freaking month that I had lost 100 pounds. But when you get to one of those big, huge, scary goals that you set for yourself, that was just about 2.5 years in the making to get to that goal. And I had set that goal every year, that I was going to get to that goal every year. And every year I failed, every year I sat and I re-looked at what I was doing and refocused and just kept trudging along. And I'd even gain weight and then I'd lose it again. And then I'd gain weight and then I'd lose it again. But when I really, really nailed in and I focused and I really took the steps that I needed and really, really dialed in and focused on what I was doing and revisited it daily almost, that's when I got to where I needed to be. So following a process that's manageable to set yourself up for achieving the goals, you need to look at some lifetime goals. So in your lifetime, what do you see yourself doing? So the way I kind of set some kind of lifetime goals for myself of things that I want to accomplish in my life is I stop and I think, if I'm laying on my deathbed, what are some of the things that I want to look back on in my life to say, wow, look what I did. Those are the lifetime goals that you're going to achieve. 5-year goals. So 5 years from now, where do you see yourself? You need to kind of think about that, because I mean, long-term goals are just as good as short-term goals. Then you want to look at where do you want to be this time next year? Where do you want to be this time next month? Or sorry, this time in 90 days, 3 months from now? Where do you want to be by Christmas time? Where do you want to be by tomorrow even? Or by the end of next month? You just constantly have to be setting goals for yourself, and you constantly have to be reviewing them to stay on course and keep your momentum up. And the only way to do that is to review your plans, review your goals, and constantly be pushing forward to get to where you need to be. So having said all that about goals, setting the goals is what you're going to need to look at how you're going to build this vision board that we're looking at building. So the vision board, what a vision board is it acts like a constant reminder to yourself about the goals that you've set for yourself. So sometimes the vision board needs updating from time to time. And sometimes there are things that we put on that vision board at the beginning of the year that we may not want 6 months from then. So there are some coaches, because I kind of talked to Scotty too while I was looking at this vision goals and stuff. And what he says, but how he handles it is he makes 2 vision boards for the year. He makes his summit vision board, and then he makes his end of the year vision board. So he revisits his goals right after summit, and he creates new goals he builds his goals 6 months at a time. So he creates his summit goals, and then he creates what he calls his Christmas Santa goals, so his end of the year goals. And so that's kind of what I kind of think of when I'm setting my goals. I kind of do my goals 3 months at a time, and then it kind of helps to revisit them too, because a lot can happen in 3 months in my life because I've got a very busy life. So I set 3, 6, 9, and 12-month goals, and every 3 months I refocus those goals, and anything that I didn't achieve in the first 3 months, if it's still speaking to my heart and still something that I want, then I work it into my 6-month goals, and I revisit my 6-month goals. And then I keep working for those 3 months until I get to my 6th month. And then I revisit and I do it over again. And that's how I have been doing things for the last 2 years. So here's a couple of steps for you to kind of think about while we're getting ready to do our vision boards on the 10th. If you haven't already, sit down and figure out what your goals are. Figure out where you want to be by the end of the year. Where do you want to be by spring? Where do you want to be by summit next year? Think about some specific concrete goals using either the SMART that I just gave you, the PURE, or the CLEAR goals. The stupid mosquito is bugging me. Pick one of those methods and sit down and really use that method to set some goals for yourself. So once you've got them, then we need, for materials, we need some kind of poster board or cardboard. It could be a cardboard, it could be a whiteboard, it could be corkboard. You could use your fridge for it, and just use magnets to set stuff on your fridge. You can use an art journal, a wall. If you don't rent, you can just stick it on a wall. You can use whatever place and whatever material you want to make that goal board. You have to make sure that it's somewhere that you regularly see it, or that you can place it somewhere really awesome and somewhere where you are going to see it every single day. So in your bedroom, first thing you do when you get up in the morning, first wall you look at when you get up in the morning. I always set mine in my office because every single morning I'm sitting in this chair, there's a wall right there, and I can look at it every single morning. That's generally where I set mine. Wherever you put it, you want to be able to look at it every day because you want those goals to speak to you every single day. You want to make sure you have glue or magnets or blue tack or whatever you need, whatever's relevant to the chosen board area that you want to use. You could also look at Pinterest and create just a goal board on Pinterest. So you can create just like a Pinterest pin board there and just search for things on Pinterest, and you can just pin them to your board. But you have to promise to check it all the time and to constantly visit that Pinterest board to focus on your goals. That's why it's great to have one on your wall, You can put it on your computer's wallpaper, so that way every morning when you open your computer, you see it on your desktop. Wherever you're going to see it, that's where you need to put it. Have a think, sit down and have a think, and think about what you want to see the most and where you would see this the most every single day. So then we need to allocate some time that we can get it done and sit down and do it. So we need the materials. You can use magazine pictures. You can search on the internet and find the pictures of the goals that you, as you're making your goals, you can search on the internet, find the pictures of the goals that you want, and print them out. You can, wherever you need to do to find something that's going to simplify each of those goals that you've set for yourself, you need to do that. And then you just chuck on your favorite music, have a glass of your favorite beverage, whether it be wine or whether it be water or whatever you want to have, and you create a space in your mind, and you create it, and you make that board your own. Get happy, get into a space of possibility and imagination so you can create that vision board and pour your heart into it. Our team is called Leading Heart Fitness. We lead from our heart. Every one of us has a big, huge heart, and we coach right from it every single day in those groups. We always pour ourselves into those groups. So it just makes sense that we take those boards and we pour our hearts into them too, because our goals should be just as important as our fitness, as our challengers, and as our teams. So you want to be able to pour your heart into this board, because it's going to be what's going to speak to your heart when you don't think that you have made it, and you don't think you are where you need to be, and you think that you just can't get to where you need to be. Looking at this board is what's going to get you there, because it's going to speak to your heart when your heart doesn't listen to your brain. So you need to gather magazines, need to gather photographs of your kids or anything relevant to your dreams and the goals that you can cut, paste, scan, or print. Get your resources together. And then you select your pictures and your text and your quotes that you love, that make you feel emotion, passion, excitement, and happiness, and reflect the things that you want in your life or you want to become. Try to use more of your imagination or imagery than words, as the unconscious mind remembers a visual and remembers a picture easier than a text or a word. And then you just stick them on. It doesn't have to be perfect. You cut, you paste, you let your inspiration flow. There's no right way to make a vision board. Just get it done. Use your energy, use your heart, and pour yourself into it. And then once you've got that vision board, you put it on a wall where you're going to see it every single day, at least once a day, and you let that masterpiece speak to you as much as possible. So I have, if I can find it here, because my vision board that I made for myself in January, if I can find it. Oh, where did I put it? I had it earlier. I made mine on the computer this year. I knew where it was earlier today because I had found it. There she is. And of course, the minute you guys see it, you're gonna like, it screams my name. Hold on 1 minute. Are you ready? Tell me when you see it. I'll see it because I'll see your smiles. Doesn't it scream my name? So this is my vision board. This is what the vision and goals I had set for myself at the beginning of the year. And a lot of it has went to the wayside, but some of it hasn't. I lost Success Club 5 All-Star Legend the first month out from January. And I haven't barely hit Success Club 5, let alone 10 for the year. So those are my fails. And I wanted to be a premier coach by December of 2016. That is still something that I'm kind of striving for. I don't know if we can get ourselves there, but that's one of the things that I had pushed for. My 52 books in 52 weeks, I'm at 35 right now. So I still have a chance of getting myself to there if I really focus on that goal. My goal of being my goal weight of 140 pounds, which will be a loss of 205 pounds, that is going to be a bit of a jump by December. So that's going to probably have to go on next year's board. This quote totally sung to me in January. All of our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. And I wanted to be on stage as a finalist of Beachbody Challenge of Coach Summit. That's still one of my goals. It's going to be a goal till I get there. I'm working hard at it every single day, and that's not changing. That's one of my goals. This one, Beachbody instructor in Nashville. Well, we didn't get to Nashville, did we? But that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to get one of the instructor courses, whether it would have been size or one of the ones that you could have applied for live instructor. I wanted to go to be one of the live instructors in Nashville. I will be the strong leader my team needs me to be. Well, in January when I started this little fiasco, I had no coaches. Rob was my one discount coach. All I had was discount coaches. I had no builder coaches. I am now sitting at the end of August, and I have 5 builders. So I can kind of think that that one pretty much might have almost come true. And then I wanted mine. These were my goals for my rank that I had set for myself. Because yes, we want to always look at the leadership ladder, and we always want to look at lives, and we always want to look at lives changed. But rank is the one good way to be able to mark and measure where you're going, because the rank shows how you're building your team and how successful you are at building a team of people that are also helping to change lives. So my goal that I set for myself in January was to be a 3-star diamond coach by November of 2016. I can try to guide this team as much as I want, but it's all in the team effort to get ourselves there. So that was one of my goals in January. And I will retire a job by the end of 2016, and I'll be earning $1,000 a week. That was my monetary or my financial goal that I had set for myself at the beginning of January. So my job that I have doing books for Harry, and Harry's kind of semi-retired himself now. So I, at this point, am living on my Synergy job, and I'm living on my Beachbody income, and my Harry income has cut itself in half. So my Beachbody income has basically replaced at least half my income from Harry. So I'm getting myself there. I'm most definitely not at $1,000 a week yet, but I still have a few months. So some of these goals can still come true, but this is what my vision board looked like in January when